All right, so are you ready to take a deep dive with us today? We're looking at Brand24,
Brand24, yeah.
and this is something that I think a lot of small business owners can get a lot out of.
Absolutely.
We're talking about how to serve customers better, identify new opportunities, maybe even get ahead of the competition.
Mm-hmm.
And, I was just looking at the research here, and it's saying that 9 out of 10 customers check online reviews
Wow.
before they make a purchase.
Yeah, it's huge. It's really everything these days, right?
And so that's most of the people that you're trying to sell to are looking online to see what other people are saying.
Exactly. That's why this is so important. So Brand24, it's all about knowing what's being said about your brand, but also about your competitors.
So instead of just kind of crossing your fingers and hoping for the best,
Right.
you can actually see what's happening.
Exactly. It's about being proactive instead of reactive.
Yeah.
You can get ahead of problems before they even happen.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So they're calling Brand24 a social listening and media monitoring tool. What does that actually mean for someone running a small business, though?
So think of it this way. You've got this direct line to everything that people are saying online about your business, your industry, even your competitors.
Oh, wow.
We're talking news sites, blogs, social media, forums, all that stuff. Brand24 is watching it all.
So it's kind of like having a whole team of researchers working for you?
Yeah, you could say that. It's
Yeah.
like they're always out there listening, but it's more than just listening. Brand24 also analyzes all that information and finds the stuff that you can actually use.
Okay, give me an example.
Sure. So like sentiment analysis,
Yeah.
it can actually tell you if people are talking about you in a positive, negative, or neutral way.
So you can instantly know if people are loving your new product or if there's some kind of PR nightmare about to explode.
Yeah, exactly. But it's more nuanced than just a simple good or bad. It can sense things like frustration, excitement, even sarcasm.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So you can get a really deep understanding of how people feel about your brand.
Yeah, exactly. And for a small business owner who's trying to really connect with people, that kind of information is invaluable.
It seems like it. And that's where the AI comes in, right?
Exactly. Brand24 uses AI to go through all that data and tell you what it all means. They have this feature called AI Insights,
Mm-hmm.
and it can do things like predict trends.
Predict trends.
Yeah.
Whoa, hold on. How does it do that? It sounds like magic.
Well, it's not magic, but it's pretty close. The AI is always looking at these millions of conversations happening online.
Right.
And it starts to notice patterns, shifts in what people are talking about.
Okay.
So let's say people are starting to ask for a specific feature that your product doesn't have. The AI could pick up on that and let you know what your customers are really wanting.
So instead of just reacting to what's already happening, you can get ahead of the curve.
Yeah, you're getting a glimpse into what people are going to want next.
That's amazing.
Right.
So you can really stay ahead of the competition.
Exactly. And it's not just about predicting trends. The AI can also answer questions about how your brand is doing.
Oh, really? Like what?
Well, like which marketing campaigns are getting the most attention, or what kind of content is working best with your audience.
So instead of spending hours digging through data in spreadsheets,
Right.
you can just ask the AI, hey, what's working?
Exactly. It's like having your own personal marketing analyst, but without having to pay a ton of money.
That's incredible. I was reading somewhere that Brand24 can even help small businesses compete with the big guys.
Yeah, definitely.
But how is that even possible? It seems like such an uphill battle.
It is a challenge, but that's the beauty of Brand24. It gives you access to the same kind of information that big companies are using to make decisions.
So you're saying I can see what the big companies are doing
Exactly.
and then use that to my advantage.
Mm.
Okay, I like that. Give me an example.
Sure. Let's say you own a little coffee shop,
Okay.
and a big chain just opened up down the street,
Oh, no.
right? You can use Brand24 to keep an eye on what they're doing online, like what kind of promotions they're running, what people are saying about their new store, even what keywords they're using to get found on Google.
Oh, so I can learn from what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly. You can use their successes to your advantage,
Okay.
but it's not about copying them. It's about understanding the market and finding what makes you special.
Right.
Like maybe the big chain is all about fancy espresso drinks, but
Mhm.
Brand24 shows you that people are really looking for a cozy neighborhood vibe.
Okay. So I focus on making my shop a welcoming place.
Exactly. And target your marketing to people who want that kind of community feeling.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It takes the fear out of competition and makes it more like an opportunity to learn.
Right. And it's just one of the many things Brand24 can do. They also have tons of features that are designed specifically for small businesses.
Like what?
Well, for example, there's this feature called comparison,
Okay.
And it lets you compare your brand directly to your competitors on all sorts of different metrics.
So I could see how my social media engagement compares to the big chains.
Yeah, exactly.
Or how much traffic my website gets compared to theirs.
Mm-hmm.
I could even see how people feel about my brand compared to how they feel about the competition.
You got it. It's like having a scorecard for your online presence.
Well, I like that a lot.
It helps you see where you stand and where you can improve.
This is starting to sound really powerful. I could see why so many people are excited about Brand24.
Yeah, it really is. It gives you so much control over how your brand is perceived online.
But it also sounds like a lot to keep track of. How does Brand24 help with influencer marketing?
So it's not just about finding people with a ton of followers. It's
Right.
about finding the people who are already talking about your brand or your industry and who really connect with your target audience.
So it's not about paying for shout-outs.
No.
It's about finding people who actually care about what you do.
Exactly. It's about building real relationships. And Brand24 has tools that can help you do that.
Really? Like what?
Well, you can track who's mentioning your brand. You can see how they feel about it. You can even reach out to them directly.
So you could turn a random mention into a partnership.
Exactly. And it's so much easier and more affordable than traditional marketing.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
All of this sounds amazing.
It is.
But I have to ask, how does a busy small business owner actually find the time to use Brand24?
That's a great question. One of the things that makes Brand24 so great is that it's designed to be really user-friendly.
Okay.
You don't need to be a tech expert to figure it out.
So I don't need a degree in computer science.
Nope. They've made it really simple to understand all that complex data.
What about the time commitment?
Well, you can customize it to fit your needs.
Right.
They've got different plans, so you can start small, and then as your business grows, you can upgrade.
Okay.
And the best part is that it actually saves you time.
Really?
Yeah, it automates a lot of those tasks that would normally take you hours to do manually.
So it's not just another thing on my to-do list.
Mm-hmm.
It actually helps me get more done.
Exactly. Think of it like an assistant that's working behind the scenes 24/7.
Okay.
It's collecting data, analyzing trends, and letting you know about important stuff.
Wow.
You can even set up notifications so you only get alerted to the things that really matter.
But I don't get overwhelmed with information.
Exactly. And you can access all the data and reports whenever you want from anywhere.
This is really starting to sound like a game changer.
It is. It lets you take control of all that information that's out there online.
Instead of just feeling overwhelmed by it.
Right. You can use it to your advantage.
This has been so insightful. I'm already thinking about all the ways I could use Brand24 in my own business.
It's a really powerful tool. I think you'll be impressed.
But before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I want to hear from you, our listener.
Yeah, what are your thoughts so far?
What's resonating with you? What features are you excited to try out?
And how do you see Brand24 fitting into your business?
Take a moment to think about those questions. Maybe jot down some ideas or talk about it with a friend.
We love hearing your thoughts and perspectives.
Because by talking about these things, we can all learn and grow together.
Now, as we come to the end of this part of our deep dive, I want to leave you with one final thought to consider.
In today's world where there's so much information coming at us from all sides, it's more important than ever to really listen.
Yeah, to truly understand your customers, to know what they need, to build genuine connections with them.
That's where the real magic happens.
And tools like Brand24 can definitely help us do that.
They help us cut through all the noise and get to the heart of what people are saying.
But the real power comes from our intentions.
Are we using these tools to build empathy and understanding?
To connect with people in a world that often feels very divided.
Or are we using them to manipulate and control?
It's a choice we all have to make.
So let's choose wisely.
That's a powerful message. And as we move into the next part of our deep dive into Brand24, I want to bring it back to those goals you mentioned at the beginning.
Yes, serving your customers better.
Finding new opportunities. And getting ahead of the competition.
We've seen how Brand24 can help you do all of that and more. It's like having this secret weapon for understanding the online world.
Right.
And making it work for your business. You know, earlier we were talking about how Brand24 can help you spot potential PR problems.
Right.
But I'm wondering if it can also help you find positive opportunities, things that you might not have noticed otherwise.
Oh, absolutely. Like, imagine you're seeing a lot of people talking about a specific topic that's related to your industry.
Okay.
Maybe it's a new trend, a change in how people are behaving, or even just a lot of interest in a certain problem that your product or service could solve.
That's the kind of thing that's easy to miss when you're busy running a small business.
Yeah. Exactly. It's like Brand24 acts as this filter, and it highlights those important signals that might have gotten lost in all the noise.
So you're not just reacting to things anymore.
Right.
You're actually shaping your strategy based on real-time information.
Exactly.
So you're not just playing defense.
Nope. You're going on offense.
And finding those hidden opportunities that can really make a difference.
Exactly.
This is really exciting.
And the best part is you don't need to be a marketing expert or a data scientist to do it. Brand24 is designed for everyone.
So even if I'm not that tech savvy, I can still use this tool.
Absolutely. And remember, they've got different plans to fit different needs and budgets.
Right.
So you can start small and scale up as you grow.
I love that flexibility.
Yeah.
It makes it a lot less scary to try something new. But before we send everyone off to explore Brand24 for themselves, I want to leave you with one final thought.
Okay.
We talked a lot about data and insights today.
We have.
But at the end of the day, business is really about people.
It is.
It's about relationships, solving problems, and making a positive impact.
Mm-hmm.
And while Brand24 can definitely help you achieve all those things,
You can.
it's important to remember that it's just a tool.
Right.
The real magic comes from combining that technology with human connection.
Exactly.
Things like empathy, creativity, and a genuine desire to connect with others. So as you start using Brand24, any other tool for that matter,
Yeah.
remember to keep that human element in mind.
It's so important.
Use it to build bridges, to understand people, and to create a business that not only succeeds, but also makes the world a better place.
That's a great way to put it.
That's a perfect note to end on.
It is.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into Brand24.
We hope you enjoyed it.
And we'll see you next time for part 2. All right, so we're back, and we're continuing our deep dive into Brand24.
That's right. Picking up where we left off.
Exactly. So we were talking about how Brand24 can help you understand how people are feeling about your brand.
Yeah, the sentiment analysis and all that.
Right. And you mentioned that it goes even deeper than just, positive or negative.
It does. It can pick up on all sorts of nuances and how people are talking about you.
Okay, so give me an example.
Yeah.
How would that actually play out for a small business?
Let's say you're a small business owner and you just launched a new product. You're seeing a lot of buzz online about it, but the sentiment analysis in Brand24 is showing some mixed feelings.
Interesting. So not just straight up positive.
Right. Maybe some people are excited about the features, but they're also expressing concerns about the price point.
Okay, so how would I use that information?
Well, now you know that you need to address those concerns head on.
Right.
Maybe you create some content that explains the value of your product.
Right.
Or you offer a special introductory price to early adopters.
So you're basically turning potential negative feedback into an opportunity.
Exactly. You're showing people that you're listening and that you care about their concerns.
That makes a lot of sense. And it seems like that kind of proactive approach could really build trust with your customers.
It definitely can. And that's really what Brand24 is all about. It's about building those strong relationships with your audience.
And ultimately growing your business.
Exactly. Now, another cool thing that Brand24 can do is help you identify potential PR crises before they blow up.
Okay, so it's not just about finding the good stuff.
Yeah.
It's also about spotting the bad stuff.
Right. It's about being aware of what's being said about you online so you can take action if necessary.
So how does that work?
Well, Brand24 is constantly monitoring for any sudden spikes in negative mentions.
Okay.
Or any mentions that use language that suggests a problem or complaint.
So if there's a sudden surge of people complaining about your customer service.
You'll know about it right away.
Wow. That could be a lifesaver for a small business.
It could definitely help you get ahead of the problem and minimize any damage to your reputation.
Okay, I'm starting to see how powerful this tool can be. It's like having a whole team of PR experts working for you.
Yeah, it really is. And the best part is it's all automated, so you don't have to spend hours manually checking social media and news sites.
So it frees up your time to focus on other things.
Exactly. Now, speaking of time, let's talk about how Brand24 can actually save you time in other areas of your business.
Okay, that sounds good.
We all know that time is money, especially for small business owners.
You know-
So one way that Brand24 can save you time is by helping you streamline your content creation process.
Interesting. Okay, tell me more.
Well, remember how we talked about how the AI can analyze what kind of content is resonating with your audience?
Yeah.
You can use that information to create more of the content that people are actually engaging with.
So I don't waste time creating stuff that nobody's going to see.
Exactly. You can see what topics are trending, what formats are performing well, and what kind of language is resonating with your target audience.
So it takes the guesswork out of content creation.
Yeah, it gives you data-driven insights that can help you create content that's more likely to be successful.
That makes a lot of sense. Now, another area where I think a lot of small business owners struggle is with social media marketing.
It's a tough game.
It is. There's so much noise out there, and it's
Yeah.
hard to stand out.
It is. But Brand24 can help with that too.
Really? How so?
Well, one of the things it can do is help you identify the best times to post on social media.
Oh, that's helpful.
Yeah, it analyzes when your audience is most active online.
Okay.
So you can make sure that your posts are seen by as many people as possible.
So instead of just randomly posting whenever I have a free minute,
Right.
I can actually be strategic about it.
Exactly. And that can make a big difference in terms of engagement and reach.
Okay, so it sounds like Brand24 can help you work smarter, not harder, when it comes to social media.
Yeah, it takes a lot of the guesswork out of it and lets you focus on creating great content and connecting with your audience.
This is really starting to sound like a must-have tool for any small business owner who's serious about growing their online presence.
I think so. It really gives you a competitive edge.
You know, another thing I wanted to touch on is the whole idea of competitive analysis.
Yeah, that's a key part of Brand24.
It is, but it can also be a little intimidating for small businesses who are going up against much larger companies.
I understand. But remember, Brand24 gives you the same insights that those big companies have access to.
Right, so it levels the playing field.
Exactly. And it can actually help you find ways to outsmart the competition.
Okay, I like that. So how would I actually use Brand24 for competitive analysis?
Well, one thing you can do is track your competitors' online mentions, just like you track your own.
Right.
You can see what people are saying about them, what kind of content they're putting out, and what their overall strategy is.
So I can see what's working for them.
Yeah. And then you can use that information to inform your own strategy.
So it's not about copying them.
Yeah.
It's about learning from them.
Exactly. And finding ways to differentiate yourself.
Right. Like maybe you notice that your competitor is neglecting a certain segment of the market, and you can step in and fill that gap.
Exactly. Or maybe you notice that they're not doing a great job of engaging with their customers online.
Okay.
And you can make customer engagement a key part of your own strategy.
That's a really smart way to look at it. It's like using your competitor's weaknesses as your strengths.
Yeah. It's about being strategic and finding ways to stand out from the crowd.
I love that.
Yeah.
And it seems like Brand24 gives you the tools to do just that.
It does.
Yeah.
And it also gives you a lot of data that can help you measure your progress.
So I can see if my efforts are actually paying off.
Exactly. You can track things like your share of voice,
Okay.
which is basically how much people are talking about you compared to your competitors.
Interesting.
You can also track your brand sentiment over time.
Okay.
So you can see if your efforts to improve your reputation are actually working.
That's really helpful. And it's all in one place, so I don't have to go digging through a bunch of different platforms.
Yeah, it's all right there in your Brand24 dashboard.
This is really amazing. And I love that it's not just about data and numbers.
Right.
It's about using that information to build real connections with people.
Exactly. And that's what ultimately leads to success in business.
So we've talked a lot about the benefits of Brand24 for small businesses,
We have.
but are there any potential downsides that people should be aware of?
Well, like any tool, it's important to use it correctly.
Right.
If you're not careful, you can get overwhelmed with information.
So it's not just a set it and forget it kind of thing.
No, you need to be strategic about how you use it.
Okay, so what are some things that people should keep in mind when they're setting up Brand24?
Well, first of all, you need to make sure that you're cracking the right keywords.
Okay.
You want to choose keywords that are relevant to your brand and your industry.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to make sure that you're tracking those keywords across all the relevant platforms.
Right, so not just social media.
No, you want to track news sites, blogs, forums, everything.
Okay, that makes sense. And what about the different plans that Brand24 offers?
Well, they have a range of plans to fit different needs and budgets. So it's important to choose a plan that's right for your business.
Okay, so don't just go for the cheapest option if it's not going to give you the features you need.
Exactly. And it's also a good idea to start with a free trial,
Right.
so you can test out the platform and see if it's a good fit for you.
That's always a good idea.
Yeah.
Now, I know we've been talking a lot about how Brand24 can help you with things like PR and marketing, but I'm wondering if it can also be useful for customer service.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, tell me more.
Well, one of the things Brand24 can do is help you identify customer service issues before they escalate.
Oh, that's helpful.
Yeah, it can track mentions of your brand that include words like problem or complaint.
Okay.
So you can reach out to those customers and address their concerns before they turn into negative reviews or social media rants.
That's a really proactive approach to customer service.
It is. And it can really help you build loyalty and trust with your
It's
customers.
all about those relationships, right?
Exactly. And Brand24 gives you the tools to build those relationships in a way that's authentic and meaningful.
Well, that's a great place to leave it for now.
Yeah.
But we'll be back soon with the final part of our deep dive into Brand24. Okay, so we're back and ready to wrap up our deep dives into Brand24.
That's right. It's been a great conversation.
It has. We've covered a lot of ground,
Yeah.
and I think our listeners are really starting to see the potential of this tool.
I hope so. There's so much you can do with it.
There really is.
Yeah.
And I think one of the key takeaways for me is just how much Brand24 can help small businesses level the playing field.
Absolutely.
Right.
You don't have to have a huge budget or a team of marketing experts to get those same insights that the big companies are using.
Right. It's all about using the tools that are available to you and being smart about how you use them.
Exactly. And Brand24 makes it really easy to do that.
It does. It's incredibly user-friendly, and there are so many resources available to help you get started.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one thing I was thinking about earlier is how Brand24 can be used for more than just, reacting to things that are already happening.
Right.
Like, I'm wondering if it can also be used to proactively identify new opportunities.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. Like, imagine you're seeing a lot of buzz around a specific topic that's related to your industry.
Okay.
Maybe it's a new trend or a change in consumer behavior.
Right.
You can use Brand24 to spot those trends early on and get ahead of the curve.
So you're not just playing catch-up.
Nope.
Yeah.
You're the one setting the pace.
I like that a lot. It's like having a crystal ball that shows you what's coming next.
Kind of. Yeah, you can see what people are talking about, what they're interested in, and what they're looking for.
And then you can tailor your products or services to meet those needs.
Exactly. It's all about staying ahead of the game.
That makes a lot of sense. Now, another thing I wanted to touch on is the importance of using Brand24 in a way that's ethical and responsible.
That's a really important point. It's not just about collecting data and using it to manipulate people.
Right. It's about using that information to build genuine connections with your audience.
Exactly. You want to use Brand24 to understand people better,
Mhm.
to know what they're thinking and feeling.
To provide them with value.
Right, and to build relationships that are based on trust and mutual respect.
That's what it's all about at the end of the day. It's about human connection.
It is. And I think Brand24 can be a really powerful tool for fostering those connections.
I agree. And I think that's a great note to end on.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure talking about Brand24 with you.
It's been great having you.
Hmm.
And to all our listeners out there, thank you for joining us for this deep dive,
We hope you learned something new.
and that you're feeling inspired to take your business to the next level.
Absolutely.
Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.